Hey everybody, it's me again, and today we're going to talk about expanders. I'm not going to say very much with this video because we're going to post a video of me getting the expanders filled after we finish this video. So I'm just going to briefly talk about the expanders, and then you can watch the video to follow so you can see what that's like. The first thing I want to say about the expanders is you can go online and look up tissue expanders for breast reconstruction and see what they look like. They're basically just plastic round balloons, kind of like a hard plastic, and they insert them when you have your mastectomy. And so when you first come home, you have a lot of swelling from your mastectomy, and then after a few weeks, when that starts to go down and you've gotten your drains out, then you will start to have your tissue expanders filled. And they'll start with injections of saline fluid. There's a little port in your breast, in each breast. You can't see it or feel it, but they have this little magnetic thing that finds it when they need to fill it, and they'll just stick a needle into that port, and that's how they fill your tissue expander. And what that does is exactly what it sounds like. It fills it up basically like a water balloon, except it's saline fluid. And each time, every probably 2 weeks, you'll go and they'll fill it more until you are to the size that you feel like you want to be when you have your reconstruction surgery. Some people choose to be the same size they were before they had breast cancer. Some people choose to be smaller, and some people choose to be larger. A lot of that has to do with what kind of reconstructive surgery you're going to have. If you're going to have implants or if you're going to have a DIEP flap, you'll have to talk to your plastic surgeon to find out what he can do and what he can't do, and then you'll decide when you have your tissue expander fill every 2 weeks. When you get to the size that you want to be, you'll stop, and then they'll wait a certain amount of time before they do the surgery. And when the tissue expander has stretched your skin enough that it will accept an implant or the DIEP tissue flap surgery and be the size that you choose to be, that's when you'll have your reconstructive surgery. Unless you're like me and you have to have radiation. If you have to have radiation, then you'll go through your radiation, and then I think you have to wait 4 to 6 months after radiation before you can have your reconstructive surgery, because that radiation really causes your skin to tighten up and be very less flexible. So they have to give the radiation damage to your skin tissue time to loosen up and work out of your system so that your reconstructive surgery will work. So I guess that was the one of the silver linings of me not having the whole surgery when I had my mastectomy. I could have had the DIEP flap surgery at that time, but if I had done that under the false sense of security that I just had a breast tumor, then I would have then had to go and have radiation, which we didn't think I was going to need, and it would have messed up my reconstructive surgery. So, what do you need to know about your expanders and having them filled? The first thing that I would say is, for me, it was very painful. I did not think it was going to be painful, and no one gave me any warning that it would be painful. And when they first do it, it's not painful, but then it really starts to hurt. And I had to drive about an hour to go to my doctor, and I left the hospital and I was alone, and it was very painful. It was rush hour traffic. It came a huge thunderstorm, and I could barely move my arms to drive. It was a very rough afternoon. So when I got home, I took pain medicine and went to bed. So what I would say to you is take someone with you. Hopefully it won't be painful for you. Everyone is different, and you hear that all the time through everything that happens in cancer treatment. Your doctor or your nurse will tell you everybody's different. When you say, what should I expect? They'll say, well, everybody's different. But I'm telling you, for me, it was very painful. So I would take someone with me the first time, and when you get your expanders filled, that way, if it is painful for you and you feel like maybe you can't drive, you'll have someone there with you, and you won't be in a situation like I was in where you're by yourself and really struggling to try to get home. The other thing that I would say is take some kind of a pain medication before you go, or after you get to your doctor. Take a Tylenol or a ibuprofen, something that will help you to not be in so much pain. If you end up having pain from it, maybe it'll dull it down a little bit until you can get home. The other thing is your things that can go wrong. And for me, that is that one of my expanders has a leak in it. So for the last year, more or less, I've had to go back every week and have one of my expanders filled. All of the saline leaks out of it. Your body just naturally absorbs it, and so they have to refill it. My doctor had said that he would take it out and replace it with another one, but they did not do that. So I've just had to deal with it, and I haven't really pushed for it because I really don't want to have another surgery if I don't have to. I'm sure if I kept insisting that they take it out and put one in that didn't have to be refilled, that they would do that, but I just haven't really pushed for it. So I will say that the one thing that that I know that can go wrong is your expander can get a leak in it. That's pretty much the only thing that I can think of right off the top of my head to say about the expanders. They are uncomfortable, they're hard as a rock, they don't feel natural or normal. It's difficult to sleep when you first start getting your expanders filled. It's difficult to find a bra to wear that doesn't hurt you. It's hard to hug people. All of those things are, it's just part of the ordeal that is cancer. And so I guess I would say that that's the one thing I'm looking forward to when I have my reconstruction, is that I won't be in so much discomfort anymore. Now there's going to be a video to follow this one of me having the expanders filled in the doctor's office, and it is very graphic, and if you're uncomfortable or you don't want to see it, or you don't want someone around you to see it and you want to look at it privately, you might want to stop now and then look at it at a later date. Or if you just don't want to see it and you don't want to know what it's like, don't look at it. I will say, still in this video, there's still healing. There's still glue from where the incisions were glued back together. As time goes by, all of that clears up and you do start to look more normal. So don't let it scare you when you see it. Just know that that's just part of the healing process, and as time goes by and some of that glue falls off and some of your scars start to heal, things do look better than they do right now. But like everything else in my videos, I'm trying to put everything out there so people can see and know exactly what's happening to them, exactly what to expect, so that if they want to see that someone has provided that information for them. But by no means are you required to look at it. If you're uncomfortable with it, just don't watch it. So that's all I have for today. The next time we'll talk about radiation, and hope you guys have a great day, and just sending everybody love and light. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, so that'll settle down. So we got to get that right side a lot bigger than the left side.
Well, the left side's the one that's going to have radiation.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's good news then. That's good news. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't have to get it so much bigger.
A little bit more, but and then we'll stop. This is probably the last time. Yeah. Okay.
So what size is this?
This is a D.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to be any bigger than that.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Yay! Thank you so much, Dr. Prodakis. Okay, so this is, what's this stuff called we're putting in?
Saline.
This is
Zero
the
salt water.
saline, this plain salt water that goes into your expanders, tissue expanders. And he just explained to me that mine are over the muscle, not under the muscle. Some of them are under the muscle. And what this does is keep your skin stretched out until you're able to have your reconstructive surgery. And my experience so far with this is that after you do this, it's extremely painful for probably at least a full week, and then the pain starts to go down some. I've been doing it every 2 weeks. I'm sure all doctors do it different. And I'm planning to have the deep flap reconstruction, not the implants. Where she just took that out is where the port is under my skin in my breast. And that is where she puts that needle in. It goes right into the expander. It's not actually going into my flesh. And that part doesn't hurt very much. It's just a needle stick like any normal needle stick. It's the after effects that are so hard. They're putting more in this right breast than the left breast because for some reason the left breast is larger now. Before I had the surgery, my left breast was smaller and my right breast was larger. And the tumors were in my left breast. So that actually doesn't make any sense to me, but that's just what happened. So I'm just putting this out there for people that might have to have this done. You'll also notice in the surgery where the pictures before is starting to heal up now, and the glue is starting to come off, and it looks like the scars are gonna not be very bad. So I'm hopeful that that will continue to heal and look nice. And this is Amanda. She's my nurse. She does a very good job. So that's all the news that's fit to print about expanders today. And I'll check in again.